Hey, this is Dave Ray with DR Performance Shooting, back with you again to talk about how to use a primer flip tray. There you go. So, anytime that we're going to load primers, it's important to be wearing eye protection, like you see that I had on just there, okay? We're handling explosives here. These guys right here contain a small amount of lead stiffenate, and that stuff is pretty powerful. So, alright, primer flip tray. You can see that it's got two parts. There's a top of the tray and a bottom of the tray. The bottom of the tray has little ribs in it. It's hard to see on this video, I know, but you can see that circular pattern there, kind of. It's almost like a lenticular lens. What these ribs do, you can hear my finger on them, they catch the bottoms, or the top side of the primer, really, and cause the primer to flip over in the tray, because they all have to have the bottom side of the cup up so that they'll go into the tip of the the primer pickup tube. So what I'm going to show you one-handed, I'm that good, is how to use this tray. Now sometimes you get lucky, like we do in this sleeve, and they're all right side up, okay? So if I'm going to put these onto the tray, one simple way to do it would be to take the bottom half of the tray, lay it right on top, and flip her over, okay? Voila, right? And then simply from there, the top half of the tray goes on. We flip her one more time, and now all my primers are cup side up, so I can pick them up in the tray, or in the pickup tube, and they'll be oriented correctly. All right, that's easy, but what happens if things get bungled up? Don't worry, we'll catch those guys that ran away here. You usually don't want to handle primers with your bare hands, but these are just for practice, so practice ammo. So if I end up causing a dud, it's not a big deal. But now watch, as I just rotate this around a little bit, see them start to flip over, and try it in a different direction. There we go. So you could dump a whole sleeve in there, and they could be all wonker-jawed in all kinds of different ways. But shake them on the bottom of the tray, and when they're all upright, flip them over. And then we use the tube. If you don't drop it on the ground, this is performance art, y'all, hang with me. You just use the tube to start picking them up, and shortly you'll have 100 primers loaded up in your tube, and that's pretty much about it for using the primer flip tray. And then one other thing, just to show you how volatile these primers are and how much power there is on these things, I'm going to demonstrate lighting one off here with a hammer. This is not a recommended thing to do to dispose of your damaged or old primers, okay? This is just for demonstration purposes. Usually if you have to dispose of these things, you want to put them in some oil and let them sit for a few days and then consider them to be inert. So I just want to show you why it's important to wear safety glasses and take precautions around these things, okay? Imagine, this is just one, imagine like 100 of these going off at the same time. I mean, it will literally take things apart on your press, or your hands, or things like that. So respect these primers, man. These are no joke, okay? So here we go. What we have here, you see the one little primer right there, and we're gonna tap him with a small hammer, and just show you it's going to be loud, it's going to disappear, and that's about it. Well, that didn't disappear, but you hear that was pretty loud. That is pretty much what happens to a primer when you jam it up in something or force a movement in your press or whatever else. Okay? It's as loud as a .22, pretty much, so that gives you some idea of how much power there is.